Good day. I'll have 2 loaves of bread.
Sure. You've probably heard the news.
No, what is going on?
We've heard on the radio.
The German army is on the outskirts of Rome.
What would that mean for us?
Men have escaped from camps.
Mussolini's camps have been opened, and his men are on the run from the German army.
Where will all these men go?
I don't know. I suspect they'll head to the Vatican.
These are sure strange times we live in.
Yes, they are.
Stay safe.
Yes, you too, Jordan. Sister, we must be prepared to help feed these men, and maybe even hide them. After dark tonight, we'll head to the back garden and bury our valuables.
Holy Father, may I present to you Colonel Herbert Kappler of the SS Forces.
Your Holiness, I have come to pay you my respects and to inform you officially that the German army is in total control of Rome.
In other words, Colonel, your forces have occupied our city.
And I am to convey the Führer's personal guarantee that Vatican neutrality will continue to be respected. In return, I would ask your Holiness to confirm in your communiques that German troops, particularly SS detachments, are behaving correctly and with restraint.
I shall be happy to report that you have asked me to confirm that, Colonel.
My orders are to maintain order in the streets, discourage resistance, and to round up escaped prisoners.
Prisoners?
Yes, after Italy's capitulation, many of our enemy prisoners escaped from prison camps. They were left unguarded, and we have reason to believe that large numbers are heading for Rome. Some may even be making for the Vatican to seek refuge.
We have not heard this.
These men, of course, will be arrested before they reach here. I also want you to know I intend to have a white line drawn across the opening of St. Peter's Square.
A line? And what is the purpose of this line?
The line will show the exact start of the Vatican territory and prevent any of the armed German soldiers from violating your boundaries.
Well, I thank you, Colonel. I hope that your armed forces remain careful. Good day, Colonel.
Is it a relief, Holy Father? They seem to act reasonably.
We do not know their intentions.
Yes, the white line. We will need to keep a close eye on that.
Kappler is the one to watch. It is his white line.
You don't think it's merely intended to keep men out?
No, the white line is a symbol of our authority and how far we can go.
Let us in the Vatican, please! Let us speak to someone! Answer us! Let us in! I thought they had to give us shelter, help anyone in hard times.
They're not going to help you, but I know someone who can.
You speak English? Who are you?
Molly Stanley, we've been watching for you.
For us?
Well, not you exactly, but escapees like you.
You said you can get us into this place, the Vatican?
I didn't say that, sir. I said I know a man who can. He's due along any time now.
Good day, Mrs. Stanley. Well, who do we have here?
We're looking for help, sir.
The name is Monsignor Hugh O'Flaherty. Boy, you lads look terrible. Could you do with a bite to eat and a place to stay? Come on. Well, I advise you trust me, or you'll end up in Regina Coeli prison by nightfall. Now don't be talking in English. Follow me.
Mr. Fantini, may I get you anything to eat or drink while you are waiting?
No, Mr. Chevalier. You told me to meet him here. Should be allowing any minute.
Any idea of what he wants?
Told me he has 2 packages he is delivering. I have some other items he needs as well.
Packages, sir?
His code name for POWs. I don't know where he thinks we're going to put these men, and with our luck, some of them are going to be coming wounded.
I do have some nursing experience, Mr. Fantini. I can give some very basic medical care.
Once he finds that out, you'll be called on for all sorts of help, believe me. They predict them coming to Rome by the hundreds.
But these are not Italian men. Surely their own embassies will step in and
Don't be so sure. No one's going to want to touch these men. No one's going to want to face the Germans once they realize they're harboring fugitives. It's a mess. Rome is a total mess.
Speaking of Rome, did you read?
Yeah, Rome is declared an open city. Boy, what a sham.
A sham? Why? What is the Italian government trying to do by calling Rome an open city anyway?
Oh, the fascist leaders gave up. No arms allowed in Rome, whatsoever. And the Germans agreed. No guns.
Oh my.
Mark my words, Mr. Chevalier, there is going to be big trouble. The Germans still have guns. The only way we can counter this is by taking up our own arms and forming little groups, just like Monsignor's doing here with this little group.
I don't think he's planning on adding guns to our efforts.
Well, he's gonna have to, that's my opinion of it. Once fear, hunger, and anger set in, people are gonna get crazy.
Yes, I've heard of the rationing of food already.
That's right, Jews are gonna get arrested, Romans are gonna starve. I've even heard of some civilians getting shot right on sight for just challenging the Germans.
Shot? Right on our streets?
That's right, in cold blood. They've been trained to shoot first, ask questions later. What is taking him so long?
Yes. I wonder where he is.
The right you should be with our streets patrolled by these Germans.
How do you know the Monsignor?
O'Flaherty? Well, I've known the good Monsignor for years. I used to work for a printer in the Vatican before setting up my own shop.
So you just wanted to help his cause?
Well, one day the Monsignor came and asked if I could do a little job for him. Fake paperwork and identity cards. We're not going to get anywhere without passes for these men, you know.
And clothes, boots, food.
We're going to need a lot of food.
Mr. Fantini, this is my housekeeper, Nina Picelli.
Drink, signor.
Finally!
Nina, could you get the door, please?
Mamma mia, all I do is work around it. They tell me, Nina, get the door, Nina, get the food. Mamma mia, they're working my fingers to the bare bones, working me into my grave.
Hello, Nina. Let us in right away.
Yes, I'm righted.
Hello, Monsignor.
Mrs. Chevalier, I'm sorry to intrude so abruptly.
Well, this is no intrusion. Mr. Fantini told me you were coming.
Luigi? Oh, good, you made it here.
Came right over and have these papers too.
Brilliant. Henrietta Chevalier, this is Lieutenant Wilson, Lieutenant Manning. Boys, Mrs. Chevalier is a devoted helper of our work.
Pleased to meet you. Do come in.
Can we stay in the Vatican? They said if you get in trouble, head for the Vatican.
Yes, well, the trouble was, so many were given sanctuary during the early days of the war. The Vatican was about to burst at the seams, so the gates had to be shut.
I don't know about this, Henrietta. These men seem like trouble. More trouble and more work.
Nina, please. Prepare some food for these men.
I knew it. More work. Mamma mia, they're working me into my grave.
Pardon me. Nina is my housekeeper, and she's a bit...
Feisty lads. But she means well. Makes a wonderful rigatoni. You won't miss a meal with her around.
What is your plan now, Monsignor?
My plan is to get these men some food and clothes, and then give them to the sisters' convent as soon as
There's
possible.
no room in the convent. I was there this morning, and Mother Superior says they're full.
There's no room anywhere, Monsignor.
Well, I suppose I could get them
They
to...
are staying here.
Oh, no, Miss Chevalier, this is far too dangerous.
Listen to the Monsignor, missus.
I insist. I want to help the cause.
All right, but only for a couple of days. I'm moving them first chance I get.
We are grateful, Mr. Valet, but we won't stay here long. As soon as we have rested, we'll head for the Allied line.
There's not a chance, men. The whole German army is between you and your people in Salerno.
In a couple of days, we'll have you men moved to somewhere more permanent.
We'll see about that.
Will we now?
These men are safe here, and I can take 2 or 3 more with no problem.
No problem, she says. We'll have the Germans on our throats. That's what she'll have. They'll come in here and shoot us all down. But I go make food. These boys look famished. I will fatten you up in no time. You like pasta, beef? I got it all. I'll make a nice beef with sauce.
Excuse me. I'm going to go give Nina a hand.
Right. We better be on our way before we arouse any suspicion. You men are in good hands.
Thank you, Monsignor. Please be careful.
Are you sure we are okay here? What is Mrs. Chevalier's story? Can we trust her?
Henrietta lived with her husband and children in Malta. Sadly, after her children were grown, her husband passed away. She moved to Rome to be near family. You men are in good hands.
Thanks for everything, Monsignor.
Yes, now remember, if there's any trouble, you must get out fast. Don't tell anyone where you've been hiding. If you're caught, you will only be put in jail. But Mrs. Chevalier and Nina will be shot.
Oh, Herbert, come to the window and see. It's unbelievable. Rome.
Yes. Unbelievable as it is real. You know something, Louisa? It's mine. All of it.
Look at it all, so fabulous. There are so many places you must take.
Yes, I'll tell you something, Louisa. When I was little more than a boy, I came here to this city. I walked everywhere. I saw every street and square, and I fell in love with Rome.
Herbert, so serious.
It's true. And I always told myself I would come back to claim her.
And now you have. You've kept your promise. Your boyhood dreams come true.
Indeed.
You have it all. An office that overlooks Rome.
Yes. It's magnificent.
What's that building over there with the statues on top?
Which one?
There with the men, horses, wings, sea.
Oh, yes, that's the Victor Emmanuel Monument.
I think it looks like a wedding cake, don't you?
I don't think I would have thought of that.
I'll add it to the places I want to visit, along with the Colosseum, the Piazza Navona, the Trevi Fountain, and of course the opera.
We'll do it all in good time, Louisa.
We must take the children to toss a coin in the fountain, Herbert. Won't they be charmed by it?
Yes, they will. By all of it. We can go anywhere we like. Rome is ours.
Excuse me, sir. Our reporter from Captain Cook's office is here to see you.
Right, he phoned me that he was sending a reporter over.
Well, I'll be on my way. Got unpacked. But I am expecting to go to the opera theater. Don't forget.
Show me.
The name is Fortuna Morgani.
Klein, is this the reporter that Cook sent over?
Yes, sir.
Right, well, it says here that you with the newspaper Il Popolo d'Italia.
Yes, that is correct, sir.
It is my understanding that the newspaper is interested in printing information on behalf of the SS. Is that correct?
That is why I am here, Colonel.
This newspaper has a long history of fascist sympathy, I see. Man Leo Morgani is the editor. Speak up.
Colonel Kapler, I will get right to the point here. My father was what they called an acolyte of Mussolini and an avowed supporter of
Signorina
Morgani.
Morgani. I'm a busy man and I have no time.
Wait, you will want to hear me out on this, Colonel. My father was a loyal and brilliant journalist who, along with Benito Mussolini, founded this newspaper. Before my father came onto the political scene, Italy lacked a propagandist. Benito Mussolini actively turned journalists into supporters of his regime, and my father was one with whom he worked closely.
Mussolini no longer rules here in Italy. We are on to establishing a third Reich under Führer Hitler. And are not speaking of any loyalties to Mussolini.
I understand that, Colonel.
Good. Then you can be on your way. Klein, tell Cook I need a new journalist.
Yes, sir.
After Mussolini was arrested, my father took his life. Could not handle the fact that Mussolini's regime was crumbling.
Yes, but the Führer freed him.
Not in time for my father to see Rome fall into the hands of Hitler, and have his beloved fascism ideals once restored.
Signorina Morgana, the German Reich will take fascism to a new level. Rome will be center of a great Aryan empire one day.
Indeed. If only my father had lived to see his friend and countrymen unite with your Führer for a fascist world. Colonel, the very least I can do now is to continue the work of my father.
And what does that entail?
I am a journalist loyal to your German Reich. I would like to work as an informant spreading Nazi propaganda. As you know, Captain Cook, as head of the police, is gathering many neo-fascist informants for the cause. I, for one, am at your service.
Yes, I am aware of Captain Cook's gang. Propaganda is a harsh word, Signorina.
Right. I would continue my father's work to systematically distort the news as you see fit. Not to mention, as an Italian, I'm able to attend many events in Roman society, Colonel. I can go places your men cannot.
Thank you, Signorina. I think we'll be in touch.
Colonel, good day.
Have her followed. Look into her father's story. I want to know more about her.
Monsignor?
Well, I wouldn't say no. That smells like the real article.
I believe it is. Mr. May seems to maintain a regular supply, though I'm careful not to ask how.
Yes, well, let's get back to business.
Yes. Some faulty alley escapees, you say?
Yes, they're mostly British. A few Americans, some French. I've been hiding them out in various colleges and monasteries, and a couple in private homes.
Yes, that's very fine of you. Splendid effort.
Yes, well, the point is there's going to be a lot more. They're predicting hundreds coming out of Rome, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them all.
Are you sure of that?
Look, nothing can be more certain. They need to be housed, fed, and clothed. I've done all that I can. Now I'll need you to take over.
But I cannot possibly become involved, Monsignor. I cannot take any responsibility for it.
What are you saying to me, man? For Pete's sake, you're the British minister. These are your own countrymen.
My dear man, I've been prisoner here in the Vatican since the beginning of the war. This work of yours needs someone who can move about. You must understand, as minister to the Holy See, my strictest duty is to do nothing which might compromise the neutrality of the Vatican State or of His Holiness the Pope. Although naturally, this whole business upsets me dreadfully.
I've had enough. Well, since you were the British minister, naturally I thought I should come here. But if you pardon me, I think I've taken up enough of your time.
Well, it's kind of you to come and fill me in on the problem, but really, my butler, Mr. May, knows more about what's going on than I do. Monsignor?
Not my concern. So dreadfully sorry. Come in. Mr. May.
Sorry to interrupt you at your work, sir.
You better be careful what you say.
Yes, I did not think that you looked too happy when you left us, sir.
Yes. Well, it may surprise you to learn that I'm Irish. During the Troubles, some of my greatest friends in college were shot by the blacks and tan, so I have my own opinion of the English. And it's just been beautifully confirmed.
Yes, I understand we are not too popular in certain parts of Ireland, sir. However, the minister would like you to have this.
6,000 lira?
You see, Sir Darcy, you're sorry. It is all I can spare at the moment. It's for food, clothes, and items for the escapees.
Ah, changed his tune, has he?
Well, not exactly, sir. He meant what he said. The Vatican neutrality is really most precarious. The minister must be careful. But he is game to assist you in every way he can. In secret, that is.
I don't know. I'll be frank with you. I'm a bit hot-tempered.
Is that a fact, sir?
Bit of a character flaw. Well, I'll admit, the money is a great relief. Food and all the rest of it, as you well know, is getting scarce and expensive.
And that is where, Sir Darcy, that arm come in handy. I'll manage to keep up some contacts that might interest you.
Have a chair.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, the big problem is finding Italian civilians to hide these men, provided you intend to carry on with the job, sir.
Well, that's why I went to see your boss. If someone doesn't do something, these men are going to be in mortal danger.
That's right, sir, and this is much too big a job for one man. You cannot handle it alone. I've got 1 or 2 friends in the black market for about any item we will need.
Yes, and meanwhile, you and I could come up with a few things and get some stuff organized.
And how will we do that, sir?
Mr. May, how would you like to go into the real estate business?
Aye, now you're talking.
Herbert, the tutors came for the children this morning.
Oh yes, and how did you find that? Satisfactory?
Yes, I think it'll be a good match.
Good. But I want to make sure that Franz is properly challenged in his studies.
Oh yes, I agree. He must grow up to be a great man one day, like his father. Look at all you've become, Herbert.
Indeed.
The children are so happy here.
Good. Louisa, it is time for you to be on your way now. I have business I must discuss.
Oh yes, good day, Herbert.
Well, what is this?
A report on black market operations, sir. It also notes that we are missing hundreds of boots from our warehouse.
Warehouse?
Yes, the one that backs the building of the Irish legation.
Irish legation. I doubt they are involved. The Irish are bound by strict neutrality. Probably resistance groups. Find out more. What else?
A list of secret watches and enemy supplies.
Okay. Next.
Information on Signorina Morgani, the reporter. It seems she checks out to be exactly who she says she is, sir.
Okay. Next.
A list of suspected members of the resistance groups.
Oh, our boot thieves, no doubt. What other resistance activity have we come up with?
No more, sir.
Well, these must be kept under surveillance. The first sign of trouble, round them up. Klein, what is the latest on those escaped prisoners?
A number have been picked up, sir. 53.
Only 53. Army intelligence said hundreds were heading for Rome.
Well, they cannot be here yet.
I don't accept that, Klein. They must be finding places to hide before we can arrest them.
Well, most of them who have been picked up are heading to the Vatican. They seem to think they're given shelter there.
I see.
Up until a few months ago, a committee in the Holy Office was in charge of welfare in the Italian camps.
What is it, this Holy Office?
A secret court of the Catholic Church, sir. It used to be known as the Inquisition.
Indeed.
Now it handles various cases. Heresy, challenges to the faith, and that sort of thing.
Yes, and this committee?
A welfare group set up by the Pope. It was headed by a gentleman, Rosini, but was largely run by a man named O'Flaherty. Seems as O'Flaherty made rounds on the Italian camps, bringing supplies and support to the men there.
So now these same men on the run think they can find this O'Flaherty in the Vatican? Is that it?
Possibly, sir.
O'Flaherty, what is he?
A Monsignor, a high-ranking official in the Holy Office. A sort of a religious lawyer.
What else?
There is no more information, sir. But we could find out more about him, his associates, the people around him.
Yes. Well, don't spend too much time on this. Still, it might be useful to know where he fits in. Being a priest, I doubt he poses much of a threat. This Monsignor O'Flaherty. Oh, and find out about those boots.
Mrs. Chevalier, thank you for inviting us for tea.
My pleasure, ladies. This is the last of my tea stash. It is so hard to come by now.
Indeed.
I've been meaning to get the two of you together for some time now. Delia is an opera singer from Ireland.
Oh, that is so exciting. Do you perform in Rome?
No, I've not been able to do any singing here. You see, my husband is the Irish consulate, and we are bound by strict neutrality and keeping a very low profile while we are in Rome.
Oh, yes.
How do you know Henrietta?
Julia has been a friend of ours for years.
I'm so grateful to Henrietta for all she's done for me and my husband during hard times.
Sadly, Julia's husband was among the Jewish men who lost their jobs. They have a young son.
Bartow is his name. He's such a blessing.
I've heard of all the Jewish men being released from their jobs. What was your husband's occupation?
He was a dentist, but Mussolini's law has forbidden any Jew to be a skilled occupation. A doctor, journalist, architect, engineer.
And that is not all. Jews are forbidden from popular vacation spots, or to place advertisements or death notices in the newspaper.
To own a radio, or publish a book. Jews cannot even give a public lecture.
I did not know all this. Just appalling.
The real worry now is what Hitler will do with the Jewish people.
Up until now, we've seen this kind of abuse, but we've never actually been arrested or reported, as Mussolini threatened.
Yes, we do not know what's ahead. This has me thinking. Do you know Monsignor Hugh?
No, I do not know him.
Oh, well, I'm just bringing his name up to let you know. If times do get tough for your Jewish people, he'll be the one for you to seek out.
Seek out?
What Delia is saying is that Monsignor O'Flaherty may be able to help you safely avoid arrest. I mean, should it come to that. I mean, don't worry, Julia. I think it will all work out.
Come now, let's not wear long faces. This is a lovely tea, Henrietta. Thank you.
Oh my, what will happen? What will happen to the Jewish people of Rome? My son?
I do not know, but I will... We are here for you. I want you to remember that.
Yes. I feel I should be getting home now, ladies.
Must you leave so soon? We've only just begun.
Yes, I must. Thank you for all you've done.
Well, all right. We will do all we can to help you.
Yes, we will. And do not forget to reach out to Monsignor if you need something.
I will not forget. Good day, ladies. It was nice to meet you, Delia.
Yes, so nice to meet you as well.
Do you suppose we have upset her?
I do think she knows the grave reality of her situation. Being a Jew in Rome at these times, I cannot fathom her worry.
Well, I'm glad you gave her Monsignor's name. If anyone can help them, it would be him.
Well, let's begin our meeting. You all know why we are here today. You all have a very important role in hiding these escapees. First off, let's hear from Mr. May.
I have a list in here of the decent chaps in the Swiss Guard who are willing to turn a blind eye. We can trust them to keep their mouths shut.
Mr. Chevalier, what is it?
Clothes, Monsignor. We need boots and shoes, and many of these men are seriously ill and need medical treatment beyond my nursing skills.
I've already gotten supply boots, sir.
Splendid. Keep right on it, John. Now, Father Vittorio, the medical needs are in your department.
The hospital, Santa Clara, is in Brother Padre's parish. I am in contact with him. The pharmacist has promised any medical supplies he can spare.
First rate. Thank Brother Padre for his help.
I will.
Luigi, how is that fake paperwork coming?
I have a steady supply coming. The Germans outside my shop make me nervous. I don't need any of them poking around my place. They wouldn't dare mess!
Thank you, Luigi. Good work on the papers and identity cards.
May I make a suggestion? We have a lot of men on our side, and the escapees are trained military men. Are they just going to sit around?
Yes, good idea. We could use the men for sabotage, or cutting off lines of communication, even setting off explosives.
And what will they use? Their own guns? Most of them half-starved, wounded?
Well, all over Rome, resistance groups are being formed, fighting against the Germans. Can't we just get...
Luigi, if that's what you want, then go join one of them. We're not a resistance group. We're not here to be blowing up trains.
Monsignor!
The resistance groups are planning something big, Monsignor. I believe it will cause problems for all of Rome if they succeed.
At least they get things done! Put fear in the Germans and fight for the freedom of our city!
Luigi, I will say it once and for all. Our work here is to hide the escaped prisoners and help those in need, not to be adding to the killing.
Forgive me, Monsignor.
Right then. Count Sarsfield, the Swiss consulate, what do you have to say?
We have escapees knocking on the Swiss embassy every day now, seeking shelter from us. Where are we to tell these people to go?
Yes, I've been thinking about that. I want you to pass the word. I'll be near the steps of St. Peter's every afternoon from 3 to 5 if anyone needs me.
That might be a bit dodgy, sir. You might be setting yourself up as a target.
Ah, Mr. Mail Boy, I'll only be a target for the pigeons. Miss Chevalier, could you read the rules set up by the Germans for moving about Rome?
Yes, Monsignor. Inhabitants of Rome should not ride a bicycle, should not walk on designated streets or sidewalks, are forbidden to stock up on food, or telegraph, or telephone outside of Rome, to enter or leave the city, to walk fast, to wear dark glasses, or to listen to Allied radio broadcasts from Bari or Palermo.
Remember this, men. Violating any of these rules could get you into hot water fast.
One final concern we have not addressed, Monsignor, the Jews. I've heard of Jews being sent to camps. Are we going to try to fight this some way?
Not fight, Luigi. This is something we will watch closely.
Watch?
Yes, watch. I'm concerned as well for the Jews. If we must add them to the escape line, we will do it. Right then, we'll meet here again next Tuesday. Same time, stagger your arrivals. May God be with you all. Have no fear.
Cook?
I brought Rabbi Leone over to you, sir, as you asked.
Yes, show him in.
Good afternoon.
Relax, Rabbi. You've noticed how few Jews have been bothered, and not one single piece of Jewish property has been damaged since the SS took control in Rome. You and your families are quite safe.
Please understand, Colonel, we have heard stories, rumors.
Propaganda, I suspect. But I can assure you there will be no ill treatment, no deportations to forced labor, or so-called death camps. You can take it from me, these camps do not exist. You and your families will be treated exactly the same way as any other Italian.
Thank you, Colonel. You are so alive. This is news we never expected to hear. The Jewish community in Rome has done great things.
This is very interesting, Rabbi. Do go on.
Most of the university professors were Jewish, but over the last year, under Mussolini, 103 of them lost their jobs for just being a Jew. Not to mention the hundreds who lost their jobs in other occupations.
What a shame, Rabbi. I can see your worries.
Furthermore, Mussolini threatened that all Jews who were not Italian-born would be forced to leave the country.
Yes, but this was never actually done.
But we lived in this fear, Colonel. Every day when my people went to work, they did not know if it would be their last.
Rabbi Leone, we are not here to do any such thing.
What did you want to bringing me here today?
I just wanted to make one small point. I have shown you my good faith. To show yours, I must ask the Jewish community to pay an indemnity of 1 million lira and 100 pounds in pure gold. This must be delivered to this office within 36 hours, or I'm afraid I may not be able to keep my guarantees.
Such an amount of gold is impossible to raise in such a short time. Colonel, I beg you, please give us a little longer.
I'm sorry. 36 hours, starting now.
Have you heard the news? What news?
The SS is doing exactly what was expected.
And what is that, Lucia?
At 4:30 a.m. today, they began to round up the Jews in their own houses.
I thought they paid for their safety in gold.
They did.
Captain to his word, but it was all lies.
How did he know where to find the Jews?
The rabbi did not destroy his registers. They know wherever he lives. People you know and esteem.
Brave, kind, upright people.
Just because they have Jewish blood treated like this, it is a nameless horror.
I've heard from Brother Pache. He seems to be doing well with the management of expenditures.
Yes, I knew he'd be very reliable at that task. Brother Pache and I go way back. Did you know that?
No, sir.
Yes, he and I are from the same town in Ireland, Killarney. My father worked as a steward on the golf course. We actually live right on the course. And young Bobby, that's what we call Brother Pache, Bobby, he and I would powder on the course. Boy, he was a scrappy lad, tough as nails.
And smart, too. He's come up with a great idea.
And what would that be, Mr. May?
He found a farmer with a false-bottomed cart.
A what?
A cart with a fake compartment. I like it.
Ain't that marvelous? Think where that might come in handy.
Monsignor, everyone, I just saw with my own eyes. The Jews, they're taking them away. Everyone's screaming, herded like cattle into trucks.
God help them, but they paid. They gave Kepler every bit of 100 pounds of gold. We helped collect it. The Pope himself even gave them gold.
Yes, it was to be in payment for their safety. Kepler said so.
They've been told they're heading to work camps.
A bloody helpful lot of babies and elderly women would be at work camps. Death camps. That's what they are.
I knew it. We'll be next.
Don't worry, Nina.
What can be done for these people now?
We need to take guns, grenades, and go in there
Hey, just hold on, Luigi. I've told you. Right now we need to get all the Jews who have escaped to safety.
Surely there are some who fled in time.
I'll keep my eyes open.
Mr. May, looks like our false bottomed cart will come in handy sooner than you thought.
Aye.
Monsignor, we have a very serious situation. Father Buckley has an officer who needs immediate medical attention.
Slow down, chap. Tell me what's going on.
40 miles out of town, near Subiaco, where Father Buckley has been hiding on a farm. They have a dying man, Monsignor. Private Norman Anderson.
This is bad. Let me do some phoning around and see if I can get this man transported.
Risky, Monsignor. If you bring this man in, we're all found out. The Germans will be on to us in no time.
I hear you. Well, I'll contact Dr. Urbani and see what he can arrange at the hospitals in Rome.
The hard part is getting him there.
Listen, right now, your job is to go back to the farm and notify Father Buckley we will be picking him up today.
Today? But how? Who?
Don't worry about that. That's my job. Just go. I'll be making some calls.
Monsignor, I came as soon as I could. You know Delia Kiernan. She was with me this afternoon.
Yes, Monsignor. I'd like to help in any way I can.
Right. We could use a few more Irish brains in this operation. But ladies, I'll be frank with you. There's no time for small talk. We have a serious situation here.
What is going on?
What? What's happening?
We're in a hurry here, good man. We have a dying soldier at our farm near Subiaco. He's going to need transport as quickly as possible.
But what about the local hospital there?
No, he was surely discovered. And besides, we have too many men hiding near Subiaco to get them out in time before the Germans will be alerted.
Here's what I have so far. Dr. Urbani said he will take him at the hospital in Santa Maria, even though his unit is packed with wounded German soldiers. The best idea is to get him into surgery and then out again to recover as quickly as possible, before questioning begins.
I can take him to recover at my home. After all, I am a nurse and I can take care of his most post-surgical needs.
Good. Our biggest obstacle in this plan still remains. Transportation. How will he get from point A to B?
A taxi is out of the question.
An ambulance is too risky. It'd raise suspicions.
I believe I can offer a solution.
Oh, let's hear it. I'm out of ideas.
I can offer you the Irish Embassy car with neutral diplomatic plates.
Ah, now you're talking.
He could be a sick Irish priest and I can arrange the priestly disguise.
Mrs. Kieran, how soon can we have this vehicle?
As soon as you like, I will make a few calls.
One more thing. Say a prayer to Our Lady of Perpetual Help for this man, that he holds on until help arrives. Miss Chevalier, prepare to have him recover at your house within the day.
Right, I will be ready.
A picture of Monsignor Hugh O'Flaherty, along with the information you requested, sir. Well, born in Ireland of peasant stock, late entry into the Jesuit college where he was known for his strong anti-British sentiments.
Is it so?
Appointed vice rector of the college here at Rome at age 28, then worked in a Vatican-charged political affair in Egypt.
You've been transferred to the diplomatic service?
Right.
What was this note? Czechoslovakia 1936?
I don't know, sir.
Well, where did this information come from?
From Cook of the secret police. He is outside if you wish to speak to him.
Bring him in. Explain this note to me, Czechoslovakia 1936.
That's what O'Flaherty was sent there, sir. The purpose of his mission has never been discovered. In 1938, he returned to Rome to join the Holy Office. Several of the people whom he was associated with and whom the Gestapo wanted to interview disappeared.
He helped them to escape?
Nothing is certain, only that he is connected with them. I have put him under surveillance as he boarded, but my men can only follow him until he crosses over the white line. So far, they have nothing of interest to report.
But I'm interested. Very interested. I would like you to use Fortuna Morgani, the reporter lady, to follow him around Rome. She can go places your men cannot. Anything more you learn, I want to know at once.
At your orders, Colonel.
The bishop hit it with a mighty swipe. Then it disappeared. It wasn't on the fairway. It wasn't on the rough.
Well, where was it?
It ricocheted off a tree, hit a fence, and bounced into the back of an open truck, which took it all the way to Genoa. It was the longest drive in history. Greetings, Count Sarsfield.
Greetings, Monsignor. I'm always likely to see you at one of Prince Filippo's parties. I have 6 packages arriving at your doorstep tomorrow. Where could I put them?
6 more, and that would make 63 at the apartment on Virasani. Yes, that would work.
Thank you.
You're talking with the Swiss, I see.
Yes, well, one meets all the best people at your parties, Prince Filippo.
And at least 4 of my guests are hide-and-escape prisoners. Don't worry, I won't say anything. Would you like to see some art, Monsignor? Is it true? You are hiding people?
You seem well informed.
I know what you are doing. I want to help.
I believe you are short of money?
Well, that's an understatement. We're flat broke.
Here's a gift. For you, Monsignor. I'll give you more as soon as I can.
Prince Filippo?
I want to give you some warning.
Warning?
Yes. I hear things. The Gestapo is watching you.
Are they now? Well, that should keep them out of trouble.
Don't take it so lightly, my friend. Herbert Kappler is an extremely dangerous man. Excuse me.
Good evening, Monsignor. Splendid party.
Hello, Sadazzi.
How's the patient?
Patient? Oh, you heard, did you?
My butler filled me in on the situation. An appendicitis, huh? The man nearly died. Well, at any rate, it was a miraculous rescue.
Yes, we definitely had some heavenly intercession.
Call it what you want. It's nothing short of astonishing. Rarely has a man owed his life to such a strangely assaulted group of characters as your lot. A scholarly Monsignor, Cockney butler, an Irish opera singer, Maltese widow, and finally, an Italian surgeon, who, with his enemies around him, risks his life to save the life of another. Astonishing, just astonishing. The whole operation. I tell you, Monsignor, you'll be famous someday.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, it's good to see you. I'm glad you are well. I'll continue to support you as best as I can.
Yes, I wanted to thank you, Sadazzi, and apologize.
Stop. No need to apologize.
Sir Darcy, I believe you know the Irish opera singer, Delia Murphy-Kidd. Her husband is the Irish consul.
Sir Darcy?
I've heard of your reputation as an opera singer. Please come down to the British Embassy sometime and sing for us, will you?
I'd love to. Thank you, Sir Darcy, for the invitation.
The Irish consulate has moved to a new building near the German military storage. How's that going, Delia? How do you like your neighbors to the back of you?
Well, we seem to have a lot of German military activity going on back there. Repairing accessories, boots or something.
Boots? So they can stomp all over Rome, I suppose.
Something like that.
Well, Mrs. Keenan, it was nice to meet you. Mr. May, please get me a drink if you'd be so kind.
Right, sir. Boots, huh? Surprised you bring them up. The boots have been very helpful for our escapees. Thank you. The Monsignor sends his thanks to the person who supplies the boots.
Don't thank me, and I hope you do not tell him that it is me.
No, ma'am. I've not whispered a word of it to anyone.
Good. I don't want to be known as a thief, nor do anything to compromise my husband's strict neutrality. However, I'm a free agent, not bound by anyone. I did it to save lives. Doesn't matter to me if these men are German, English, or whatever. I did it to save lives.
Well, the boots were much needed. The men often have to cover great distances when hiding.
It was my groundskeeper, at any rate, who actually climbed over there and tossed the boots into our property. And the place not being guarded at night, it worked out quite well. Glad to help. Here's the Monsignor now.
Mrs. Kieran, I hope you and your husband are doing well.
Yes. Although he is looking forward to leaving the embassy once the war is over. How are things going on, Senior? Everything running smoothly?
Aye, we're getting along okay. I want to thank you, Mrs. Kiernan, for the use of the Irish embassy car. Mr. Anderson arrived safely and is now recovering at Mrs. Chevalier's home.
Good. I'm so glad to hear he survived the ordeal. Poor man.
Good evening.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I was wondering if you could tell me the name of that priest in the corner. I'm looking for a Father Murphy who's a missionary in Africa.
No, that's not Father Murphy.
Oh, well, I was reading about a Father Murphy in the Monsignor and wondered if that was him. You see, I am a student in anthropology at the university and was hoping to find a Father Murphy to ask him about his experience in Africa.
The Messaggero? The newspaper of gossips and lies? I wouldn't believe anything printed in that newspaper.
The Massager is not accurate.
I don't believe I caught your name.
Cotto Spinelli.
Nice to meet you, Mrs. Spinelli. Good day.
Wait, you didn't tell me the name of that priest.
Well, I don't believe you asked.
Well, perhaps he knows of Father Murphy.
True. That is Monsignor Hugh O'Flaherty.
O'Flaherty?
I would not go around asking questions of strangers these days.
Why not?
Be careful. You never know who you're talking to.
Indeed, you do not.
We're going to need more food. This will require moving about more. I was wondering if we could use neutral passports.
I believe that is a question for the Swiss consulate.
I've set aside a few Swiss and Spanish passports for emergencies, but to get more, even with good forgeries, is nearly impossible.
I think you have to rely on Vatican passes for now.
Any chance your husband can provide Irish passports?
As Irish consulate, he is bound by strict neutrality and won't get involved at all.
I can understand that.
He even recently wrote to the Archbishop of Dublin to assure him that all Vatican neutrality is being respected. We can't ask him to help.
And you?
I am bound by nothing. I will do all I can to help.
Luigi! Oh good, you made it here.
Sorry I'm late. The German patrol stopped me twice. I've been down to the Grand Hotel listening to the latest. Have you heard the news?
News?
The bombing? You didn't hear about it?
Bombing?
Resistance groups bombed German officers in Villa Rosella. Over 100 bombed. I think 24 dead so far. Carnage everywhere.
Oh no.
It was just a matter of time.
What will this mean for the people of Rome?
There's no telling what sort of reprisals the Germans will make on the people of Rome.
So far, no arrests made by the Germans, but rumor has it Hitler's got something planned.
God help us all. Luigi, there's no time to recap. It's almost time for Kapplers and Holy Curfew here. John will fill you in later. We're now looking at over 1,700 escapees. 1,726 to be exact. And that means tighter security from now on.
Especially after the bombing, there's no telling what restrictions will be placed on us now.
Absolutely. From now on, if we need to contact each other, it'll be through code names. Go ahead, John.
Nothing elaborate. The simpler the code name, the easier it is to remember, and harder for the enemy to break, hopefully. Right, so, Monsignor is Golf, Father Vitero is Vic, Miss Chevalier is Malta, Brother Poche is Leprechaun, Mrs. Stanley is London, Luigi is Hothead, the Count is Alps, and Mrs. Kiernan is Opera. Oh! And I'm Jeeves.
Yes, we better be on our way. Stay strong, everybody.
Delia, could you help me finish packaging the medical supplies? Monsignor will carry them across town in books we have hollowed out.
Ingenious! Sure, I will help.
Hugh.
Things are being said about you.
Are they now? I'm becoming famous, am I?
This is no joke, Hugh. People inside the Vatican. They say you are foolish, taking risks, distracted from your priestly duties with all this.
In the Vatican? Why would I have enemies there?
They say your work for the escaped prisoners proves you are unorthodox.
Paulo, I'm not going to start talking about politics.
You must think about your future. You have enemies, Hugh.
Listen to this. Colonel Herbert Kappler, born in Hauptstadt, Germany, son of a doctor, personally recruited into the SS by Reinhard Heinrich. In 1938, he organized the deportation of Austrian Jews to concentration camps. Then he was transferred to Belgium, where he put down an insurrection of Brussels, with many reported atrocities. There's more. In the last 6 months, he has organized the roundups of people for slave labor, and has personally ordered the torture of hundreds of civilians. You talk about my career, my little job in the Vatican? Here is the real enemy.
What's the death count, sir?
We're up to 33! 33 German soldiers blown to pieces by Italian resistance. And now, the Fuhrer has asked for a reprisal.
Reprisal, sir?
Yes, Hitler's beside himself with rage. He has promised a reprisal.
What does this mean, sir?
Shut up! What kind of question is that? What does this mean? It means I must come up with 10 Italians to be put to death for every German soldier who is killed. That's what it means.
Yes, sir.
He does not care who it is. I will need 300-something bodies by Thursday. A payback to Italy. A reprisal. Not only that, I need soldiers numb enough to carry this out. Klein, order cognac to be delivered to this office at once.
Yes, sir. Cognac.
This is about to be Rome's darkest day.
Saluta, Paolo, di parte mea.
Very good. You'll be fluent before you know it.
Oh, I don't know about that. Mr. Chevalier, let me in.
It's all right. I will get the door.
Excuse me, the Nazis are coming down the street, raiding homes.
What do you mean?
You have very little time. There's a Nazi patrol on the next street. You have to get everyone out at once. They have a list of addresses.
We're doomed. Mary, Mother of God, help us.
Hurry, I'll help clean up.
We must clear the beds, get everything in order.
No, I will do that. Just grab your things and head to the convent.
Thanks for everything I've done for Mr. Chevalier.
Remain calm. May God be with you.
Search the room.
May I ask what you are looking for?
Escaped prisoners and deserters. Who else lives here?
This house belongs to me, and my housekeeper lives with me. We were about to have dinner.
Let me see all of your papers. We have reports of unusual movement in and out of your apartment. What do you have to say about this?
There's nothing unusual about us.
Who would have called to report this?
The only people who I can think of who would enjoy watching you follow a cold lead are the neo-fascist sympathizers who live in the apartments next door, sir. They are known for German resistance.
Well?
There is nothing here, sir.
Who's this dude? Who's studying Italian?
That is my book, sir. I'm from Malta, and I'm still trying to find my way around here.
Let's go. Move!
Monsignor,
Hello, Mrs. Stanley.
I have bad news.
What? What has happened?
Mr. Fantini's been arrested at one of the checkpoints.
Arrested? Why?
He was carrying a gun. They had taken him to the Gestapo headquarters. As well as helping us, he's been working for resistance as a courier.
No, I should have known you'd do something like this. Where has he been picked up?
Via Allegheny, outside Mrs. Chevalier's home.
You must warn her and all the people in that house. I believe it's only a matter of time before the Chevaliers are found out.
They wouldn't hurt Luigi, would they? I mean, Monsignor, we have heard of their methods.
Give us the locations to the hideouts for the final time, I warn you.
Remember me? Know who I am? I admire your courage, but please understand that you possess information we must have.
I have no information.
For the good of your country, please help me put an end to the violence. Surely you want that too? Your fellow countrymen to walk the streets in peace? We can't have bombs going off. Innocent people living in terror.
I have no information.
I will take you to Regina Coeli prison to be shot by your own countrymen. Surely you can see it pointless to go through this. All you need to do is give us a few names and addresses. That's it, and it's over.
I have no information.
Very well, get on with it.
What will you do now, sir?
I will do my duty. I owe my life to the German Reich.
Monsignor, I've come to beg your help.
Mrs. Fornazzo, I have many Jews in hiding, so I will do my best to get you and your son to safety.
We were able to get away. My husband. I do not know where he is.
Yes, I cannot imagine your sorrow.
Our Jewish neighborhood. They're all gone. All of them. One day, the trucks came, picked up all the Jews and drove away. My husband. He's gone.
Yes, this was a horrible tragedy.
Where have they taken him? My husband, where is he now?
I do not know.
Monsignor, I have no hope of getting out of Rome, and I have no one to turn to. I've come to beg you to take my leave.
Mrs. Fornazzo, surely we can figure something else out.
No. It is only a matter of time before I'm discovered. I have no paper proving that I'm anything but a Jew. But I want something better for my child. Please, take him. Place him in a home. This is the only chance to survive him.
I will take the child, and you will go hide in the convent. I will give him to a family, to love and care for him.
I love him more than anything in this world. Please, take care of him.
I give you my word. The boy will be in the best of hands.
Goodbye, my sweet baby boy. I'll be back for you.
Take the yoke of the Lord, for his yoke is sweet, and his burden is light. Take the vestment of priesthood, which signifies charity. May justice, constancy, mercy, courage, and all other virtues be reflected in our every way of acting. May we inspire others by our example, and hearten them by our admonitions. May we keep pure and spotless the gift of our priestly high calling.
Oh, Herbert, isn't this magnificent?
Indeed.
This opera is one of my favorites. Wasn't the soprano just marvelous? Senora Morgani, are you enjoying yourself?
La Boheme is also one of my favorites.
I'm excited for Act 2, Herbert, aren't you?
Of course.
Yes, and won't it be exciting to see Musetta rebuffed by the arrogant Marcello? I think Maria Cano has done a fabulous job.
We never had anything like this at home in our German village. To be at the opera in Rome, it's like a dream.
And look at these lovely programs. Gold letters and silk cord, real keepsake.
Why don't you ladies get some refreshments while Klein and I discuss the opera's plot?
Come, Senora Morgani.
want you to keep your eyes and ears open here. We may be in the presence of those who are working for the priest.
Yes, sir.
Delia, how does this opera compare to those in Ireland?
Well, the cast is just outstanding. It's hard to compete with Maria Cano and Ben O'Gilly, but we Irish can hold our own on stage.
Have you ever performed in Cork? I was there once.
No, I have not, although I have done Madame Butterfly in Wexford.
Please perform for us, will you?
Perhaps this Christmas?
Splendid.
I hear the prince has a wonderful grand piano that just sits there longing for someone to play it.
Yes, that is true.
I would be delighted.
It's set then.
Don't look now, but I believe that is Colonel Kapler, the head of the Gestapo here in Rome.
Yes, it is.
I should like a word with him.
Perhaps you steer clear?
Nonsense. There's nothing wrong with a friendly greeting. Colonel Kapler? Mrs. Kapler?
Yes?
I am Delia Kiernan. Perhaps you have heard of me.
No.
Well, I am an Irish national and renowned opera singer myself.
Really? Have you performed here in Rome?
No, I've not been able to do any singing here, although I'm having such a lovely time in
Come
this
on,
opera
Louisa,
hall.
we need to get back to our seats.
Oh, Colonel Kapler, before you go, would you be so gallant as to sign my opera program? I'd like to keep it as a souvenir that I met you and your lovely wife here this evening.
There you go.
Thank you, Colonel.
Good evening, Count.
Sir Darcy.
Good evening, all of you. Count, I have a question. Could you and your friends at Passen entertain a few more monks if I were to send them your way?
I think we can manage that, Monsignor. Sir Darcy, how are you holding up with all the shortages these days?
Mr. May does his best, but coffee and tea are scarce, and I've heard bread is even harder to come by.
I feel for the poor people who go to the stores and find the shelves bare.
Oh, but the good nuns seem to have a steady supply of food and necessities, but they distribute regularly.
Really? How is that so in these times?
They said they asked St. Joseph to help them discover bargains on the black market.
Oh, that is magnificent, if we all had that faith.
We could move mountains.
We better get back to our seats.
Mr. May, I need to ask you something. Our devoted brother Pace, he
What
has
is
turned up missing.
Oh,
We haven't had a word from him in days.
I think I know what's happened.
What?
The reprisal.
The reprisal? Could that have something to do with his disappearance?
You know, Monsignor, they're really just thugs.
Who?
The resistance. They're not helping. And if anything, they're simply just irritating Hitler and causing more harm than good.
I know, John. We're not going to gain any ground blowing people to bits. Now tell me about this reprisal.
Many are suspecting it's already taken place. People are missing. Numbers reaching the hundreds have vanished without trace.
This is what I am fearing.
I'm sickened to tell you that the smell of death is reported to be coming from the caves outside our room.
You don't think?
Many think it, Monsignor. Something very sinister has happened inside those caves. Be careful, Monsignor. Kapler is here tonight.
Is he? Last time I met this man face to face.
Oh, well, he's standing near the refreshments and looking this way. I don't believe we have met.
I'm sure I would have remembered.
Louisa, this is Monsignor O'Flaherty of the Holy Office. Monsignor, my wife Louisa.
Monsignor.
Mrs. Kapler?
Holy Office. Is that a part of the church?
We'd like to think so.
This is Captain Klein.
Captain, what's a pleasure to meet you at last, Colonel. I've heard so much about you.
And I have you.
Are you enjoying the opera, Monsignor?
Honestly, Puccini is my favorite.
Really, mine too.
So we have something in common. Perhaps we can discuss it one day, among other things.
That would be delightful.
I hope you would be my guest, in fact, in the near future.
Well, that would depend on how long you're going to stay in Rome.
I intend to be here a very long time.
O'Flaherty, that's Irish, isn't it?
Well, indeed it is, as Irish as McGinty's goat, the land of saints, scholars, and leprechauns.
It is a very primitive country, Mrs. Kapler.
I doubt, Klein, that Monsignor would agree with you. He will tell us it is a modern democracy now.
And that is a fact, with an elected prime minister, parliament, and religious freedoms as well. It is a system I would recommend to you. Well, I mustn't hold you up any longer. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, it's a rare pleasure. We'll meet again, I promise.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Kapler.
Very charming man, isn't he?
Indeed.
Suspecting something has happened to those that are missing, and sir, there's a stench reportedly coming from the cave.
Crowds are flocking outside the prisons, Colonel.
People are suspecting something has happened, and people are looking to see if their loved ones are imprisoned or if they are among those taken in their reprisal.
People are saying 500 or 600 people have died in the caves. Should we address this before there is mayhem, sir?
There. That should be enough to help with the rumors that are circulating, Klein. Signorina, I would like this published in the papers as soon as possible. Here, read it.
On the afternoon of March 23rd, 1944, criminal elements executed a bomb attack against a column of German police in transit through Via Rosella. As a result of this attack, 33 men of the German police were killed and several wounded. This vile ambush was carried out by communist bandits.
The German command has decided to terminate the activities of these villainous bandits. No one will be allowed to sabotage with impunity the newly affirmed Italo-German cooperation. The German command has therefore ordered that for every murdered German, 10 communist bandits will be shot. This order has already been executed.
This is a dark time for Rome.
It's a lie, Miss Chevalier. So many missing who are not communist bandits. Shopkeepers, teachers, mothers, fathers, priests, and even a 14-year-old boy was lost in those caves. And
Brother Robert Pache,
our devoted friend and helper. Where is he? This is the only explanation.
vanished without a trace, and so many like him. Families are searching the streets for their loved ones and get no answer.
In the face of such deeds, every honest heart is left profoundly grieved in the name of humanity and Christian sentiment.
On one hand, you have 33 victims of a bombing. On the other, you have 330 persons sacrificed for the guilty parties who escaped arrest.
Yes, right, Fear, I understand. I believe we're closing in on the Monsignor soon. He seems to be the ringleader in the escape organization. Yes, we have found more evidence of their hideouts, and we'll be following these leads. Yes, I know. The Fear is angry? Yes, too many have gone uncaptured, I know. Yes, good day, right, Fear. Line, I'm under much pressure to close out all efforts to hide both prisoners of war and escapees.
Golf Vic Alps.
Where did you get it?
It was taken from a man we picked up for questioning.
Well, what did they do with him?
He was taken to Regina Chile prison until his identity could be checked. I've asked Cook to follow up with him now. He should be here in a moment with the full report.
We are the idiots, Klein.
Sir?
With all our experts and all our technology, we expect something complicated. But suppose this is something really very simple. So simple it is actually quite clever. V for via, streets.
The numbers could be house numbers?
Yes, perhaps. The prisoner will tell us if I'm right. I think he will crack under our methods any time now. It shouldn't be too hard to work out on a map if we know exactly what areas these numbers represent. Yes?
That man we were interrogating.
Well, what have you learned of him?
He was released first thing this morning.
What do you mean released?
From the prison. I have a copy of the release. Signed by you.
That's ridiculous. I never signed anything.
Looks like your signature.
My signature. You mean my autograph? An opera souvenir! That priest was behind this. Fine, hand me that book. The time has come.
Get a move on, let's go! Move!
Monsignor, thank God you were safe. You were at Prince Filippo's home when it was raided?
Yes, but don't go thinking I'm that easy to get rid of.
Oh, yes. Monsignor, you've not heard?
Heard.
Brother Robert Pache, it's been confirmed.
No.
I'm sorry, I know he was a dear friend.
So he was among those taken to the caves. The hatred, murder, atrocities, and torture.
There were others from the escape line, too.
Who else? Who?
Antonio Bernardino, Andrea Casada, and Umberto Lucina.
Eternal rest grant unto them, O Lord.
And the perpetual light shine upon them.
And may the souls of the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Amen.
This is a reason to celebrate, isn't it, sir?
Indeed, the whole operation has been a success. We've managed to capture many of the families who are housing escapees.
And now the little persuasion, the ones you have, will lead you to the others.
And they, in turn, will lead us to more men in hiding places.
Like a ripple effect.
Exactly. Gentlemen, Signorina, let us drink to escape prisoners captured.
Hear,
Hear! With great pleasure, I shall invite Monsignor Gulf to visit. Klein, send a cable to Maestro Himmler at once. A clean sweep.
I came back for him. Before I knew it, the German soldier had a gun on my back.
You're lucky to be alive.
Torture went on for days. Then one morning they came for me. Rather than sending me to my execution, they sent me home. Imagine my shock.
We are all shocked to see you back here with us, Luigi.
We've got Mrs. Cannon to thank for this. Yet I believe she's in big trouble now.
These new arrests, everyone in the escape line is in serious trouble.
And they've got your code book.
As well as the others. I need to warn them.
Wait a minute, John. You're not going anywhere. If you take one step outside the Vatican, you'll be in danger. They're on to all of us now.
Yes, forget it, John. They've already rounded up 65 people in your area just these past couple of days. We'll need to move the rest of the ones to Barnett sector.
If you save one, you have to save them all.
It's not possible, Monsignor. We've got thousands of escapees on the books at the moment.
Plus, all the Italian civilians hiding them are in serious danger. These are families, Monsignor. Many with children. We'll need to move swiftly.
Monsignor, unless you can pull off a miracle, this whole thing is finished.
No way. Capo's won a few rounds, but he has not yet won the fight. And we do not know when or where the Gestapo will strike. Everyone's in danger. Right now we need to move our people, all of them, to safe places immediately.
That's going to be some operation. How do we set it up?
We can count on all of our Italian friends. They're not going to let Capua win out. Well, let's get started right away. There's a great deal to be done. Precious little time.
I don't think we can do it in time, sir.
Well, give it a try, lads. Remember, if you pull this off, it'll be something you can tell your grandchildren. In the meantime, I have some business to attend to.
What's that?
It's an invitation to a party at the Hungarian embassy.
Why would they invite you?
I have a feeling they want to tell me something.
It's a trap, sir.
Nah, they wouldn't be so bold. I'm going. There's a reason I was invited. I'm not scared. My first concern is getting these people moved to safety.
Hello, Aunt Lucia.
Hello.
It'll be the usual for Sir Darcy. Oh, actually, could you double that, please?
Okay.
Yes. Sir Darcy's supplies are running low.
Have a great day.
Yes, you too. Oh, and if you happen to see the Monsignor, don't tell him I've been about. And here's a tip for you guys.
One gentleman.
Alms! Alms for the poor!
Excuse me, sir.
Monsignor, this is a risky visit for you.
Why have you come?
Yes, well, I was not going to send anyone but myself to warn you that your shop is being watched.
Yes, we have been listening to the radio.
Wireless radio, Monsignor? The Allies are coming?
Yes, despite the surprise landing of the Allies on the beaches of Anzio, I believe it may take many months before the Allies reach Rome.
Months?
Oh, I hope not.
Yes, I fear that any day the Jews whom you are hiding may be found out.
We will be careful, Monsignor.
We have heard the Germans have caused much damage. Is this true?
Yes, the situation between the Vaticans and the Germans is taking a turn for the worse.
What has happened?
The Basilica of St. Paul has been violated by the Gestapo.
No. May God have mercy on us all.
Yes, the Germans ignore Vatican neutrality. They stormed the rectory where the Jews were hidden by permission of the Holy Father.
What has become of them all?
Yes, what has happened to them?
I don't know. I just don't know.
We all must be ready to give our lives at any moment.
And I also want you to write that anyone who is found to be harboring Jews will be arrested and shot.
Yes, Colonel.
Yes. Vatican neutrality or not, we'll stop at nothing. Anything outside the white line will be raided, searched, and all guilty parties dealt with severely.
Yes, Colonel, you mentioned previously about trucks passing through the Vatican.
Yes, add this. Any truck going in or out of the Vatican will be searched. We will stop at nothing.
Fear not. It's our secret knock.
Monsignor, what are you doing here? And dressed like that?
Yes, well, never mind the clothes, ladies. Desperate times call for desperate measures. This is the latest fashion Mr. May has provided for me.
Monsignor, this visit is so risky.
Yes, we are so concerned for you. Perhaps you shall step back now.
Nonsense. We have too many hiding to ever sit back now. We have too many in hiding. The Kepler's now sending fellows into the Vatican after me.
Oh my.
Yes, well, as long as they don't have guns, I can tackle 2 or 3 of them with ease. Although, a scrap on the very steps of St. Peter's would be a bit undignified, don't you think?
There's no convincing him.
Now listen, we need to evacuate this place.
Evacuate, but we need to...
No, there's no time. This building is being watched.
But what about the men you hid here?
We're done with this hiding spot now. I'm taking the 2 of you to a farm outside of Rome.
Mamma mia, this is the end. I better go and pack food.
No, Nina, there is no time.
When are we going?
Now, there's a car on the corner street. Father Vittorio is your driver. Don't trust anyone else. Father Vittorio, do you understand?
Yes, Monsignor.
Show them in.
We have news of Monsignor O'Flaherty, sir.
Seems he has been moving about Rome quite a bit, and here are the pictures to prove it.
Prove what? What is this?
Kepler, these are pictures of Monsignor Hugh O'Flaherty in various disguises. A nun, gypsy, painter. And this one is almost unbelievable. An SS captain. Apparently, he entered Regina Coeli prison dressed as an SS captain, and no one questioned him.
There's no doubt about it, sir. He was in an SS uniform. He was seen leaving the prison at noon.
By the time the alert was out, he had crossed the white line into Vatican territory and disappeared down an alley.
This is unacceptable. Are you sure it is the priest O'Flaherty?
The pictures say it all, Colonel. We could not be more certain.
Every hiding place raided comes up empty. Fires burning in the fireplace, food on the table. Nothing.
How do they do it?
He did it. That priest.
I'll go out and pick him up immediately.
I wish it were that easy.
Why can't we go and arrest him?
He is still protected by Vatican neutrality. I will have to go in and ask for him myself. Hat in hand. We respected Vatican neutrality, but it has been violated again and again.
Then I suggest you make a report to your authorities, Colonel.
I am the authority in Rome, and I tell you an illegal organization exists which is hiding prisoners of war and is being directed by one of your staff. I want to question him.
I regret that it will not be possible.
You know who I'm talking about. Monsignor O'Flaherty. He has charges to answer.
I'm afraid I cannot give you my permission.
I only ask out of courtesy. I intend to question him now.
I know your methods of questioning, Colonel, even of priests. May I remind you where you are. All of my officials here have diplomatic immunity. There is nothing more to be said. If you wish to create an incident here, Colonel Kepler, then please continue.
All right, Your Holiness. I guess we'll need to tighten down on Rome.
What are you doing here in the Hungarian embassy? Are you crazy?
I was invited.
Into a trap, no doubt.
Attending the enemy's party is the only way to figure out what's going on.
Well, this is one party you should have turned down. Kepler is here.
I've seen him. Oh, there will be a load of food supplies delivered to you tomorrow. The nuns will be by to pick it up in the afternoon.
Oh boy, here he comes.
Colonel Kepler, what a surprise.
Not for me. I was looking forward to continuing our talk.
Were you now? I thought we had covered all there was to say.
We've only just begun. But I've heard of your reputation for being a jokester and a trickster.
You also have quite the reputation.
But I am German. I know my enemies, you Irish. How strange to feel such concern for the enemies of your country.
Speaking of your enemies, it's just about the entire civilized world, isn't it?
I was told you had wit. I find you disappointingly obvious.
Well, I'm sorry. I just wouldn't make sure you knew my meaning.
Do not attempt to provoke me. I had you invited here to give you warning. After tonight, if you take one step outside the Vatican territory, you will be arrested on sight.
Colonel, do I get the feeling you try to put a crimp in my social life?
To hell with you and your social life. You stay behind that white line and you'll spend the rest of the war in Regina Coeli prison.
The way the war is going, I might not be long at all.
You listen to me, priest.
No, you listen to me. I'm a Catholic. I have diplomatic immunity. You cannot tell me what to do.
I own Rome, not you, not the Pope. Just because you wear a frock, it will not protect you. Remember your friends? You little helpers?
I do, and so does every person in Italy who still knows the meaning of freedom.
Get out! Get out! Go back to the Vatican where you belong. This is your last party.
So many are dependent on me. Or is that the sin of pride? The question is, Paulo, is whether a man can separate himself from his work. Can he live a dual life? Should a man forsake the status of his profession to follow his conscience, even if it means he'll be laughed at, humiliated by his colleagues? What should I do?
I will give my life to help you, my friend. You must follow your conscience. Do not live for any earthly honor. Live only to serve God through your priestly duty. If that means you'll be mocked by others, then so be it. Only you know what you should do now. I pray to God to make your path clear.
The white line is a very precarious boundary for us now, Monsignor. It is impossible to defend it.
I was surprised to see the Palatine Guards carrying arms.
Only a token. I've heard that Hitler has drawn up plans to invade us and to create a puppet papacy under his control.
Surely you do not think he would go that far?
Well, it certainly is a concern. I would not put anything past the Nazis.
I understand your concern.
I'm glad you realize that any activity which gives the Nazis an excuse to invade our territory must be avoided at all costs. What question is on your mind now, Monsignor?
The only one that seems to matter, Holy Father. What is our duty when we come face to face with evil?
We must fight it.
We must fight it. How do we compromise with our current situation?
It is sometimes necessary to proceed slowly and with caution. This is difficult for you, Monsignor. I know.
When I was a boy, the old priest who would teach us would say, "Do what is right, come hell or high water, and God will give you the upper hand."
Sancti simplicitas. For some, that is easier than others.
Holy Father, is it ever right to see somebody in mortal danger and turn your back on them? Holy Father, at this very moment, I'm responsible for the safety of over 4,000 people hiding in and around Rome.
So many. You must do what you believe is best. May God guide your decision.
And so, after months of stalemate, our forces are on the move again. U.S. and British divisions under the command of General Mark Clark have broken out on the Anzio beachhead and are attacking the Nazi stronghold, driving the enemy into the hills where they are pounded day and night by our tanks and dive bombers. The battles of Anzio and Cassino are over, and in just a few days now, the big one will begin. The Battle for Rome!
Refugees?
Why, are you expecting more?
Yes.
Well, every day we await an invasion.
I know, this is bound to end soon.
Every day we hear victory talk on the wireless radio, and every day we've noticed tension around us. False hopes of the arrival of allies. When will they come?
It is important for us all to remain patient.
We have 55 people now in our care, and food is scarce.
Yes, I understand. All we have to serve these poor souls are dried peas, rice cooked in water with no cheese, no butter, no gravy, no milk.
We are a bakery with no bread.
The refugees can talk of nothing else but the arrival of the Allies to free us all. They are taking guesses at the very day and hour.
Well, we must remain patient, even though the explosions and the sound of artillery reach us fit food by day and night.
And we must expect more to seek shelter with us.
Last night, more refugees came, having escaped the concentration camps like the others. Then this morning, more have come, fleeing the bombing near their own town.
Men, women, children.
Herbert, where have you been? I've been waiting here.
Up in military headquarters. Louisa, I want you to go home now and pack.
What?
In 2 days, 3 at most, we evacuate Rome.
But you're ready to defend it. You can't be at weeks yet.
Rome is not to be defended nor attacked. It seems this way we preserve our army and Rome is saved.
Well, you'll have to give me some crates and some boxes.
There's no point. You can only take what you need.
But my clothes, my furniture, I can't just leave them here.
You'll have to.
But Herbert, I won't leave all my...
Don't you understand? You'll be lucky to get away!
I don't know what you're talking about. You said there was no danger. What about the children?
Listen to me. Listen. Up until yesterday, there was no problem. But now, it's chaos here. There's no transport left. I have to arrange something.
Will you come with us?
It might not be possible, but you and the children must be ready.
Where are you going?
There's still something I have to do.
What? Herbert!
Call for help and you're dead.
You're going to kill me anyway.
Not if you listen. I have come here personally with the message from Colonel Kepler. He wishes to see you.
At Gestapo headquarters, no doubt.
There is to be a private meeting. Just the two of you. Your safety is guaranteed.
Guaranteed, is it? Where?
The Coliseum.
Anyone there? Anyone there?
I am. You called me here. To meet in the Coliseum. How quaint.
You're not afraid I will shoot you?
No. If you were going to kill me, your armed messenger would have done so in the monastery just now.
That is so, but believe me, at this moment, nothing would give me greater pleasure.
And when it comes down to it, the bullet is your answer to just about everything. It's the only argument you've got.
I know what you think of me, you and your church. But you forget. I am a soldier, I have my orders, and I do my duty.
You cannot hide behind that, Kepler. Don't deface the word duty.
My orders were to occupy the city of Rome and control it. In a war, that means whatever it takes to do it.
And you think that that absolves you of any responsibility?
Yes! What is important is the Reich, not Rome. What is Rome? All its greatness is over. All that is left is a picture postcard. A playground for women and priests. They're evacuating it now, but that means nothing. We'll be back. The Third Reich is the future.
How many murderous dictators have talked that kind of rubbish? Look around you, Kepler. You're standing where your ancient friends entertained themselves, watching lions tear Christians to pieces.
Keep your history lesson, priest. You crawl to your pope and obey his orders just as I will obey mine.
You compare your obedience to Hitler with the service a priest owes to his church? Do you think that that is the same? I don't have time for this.
Wait. I know about you and your church. I've been talking to people. I know all about you.
What is it you want from me, Kepler?
They say you can't pass a beggar or a lame dog, and that you see yourself with some sort of obligation to look after anyone in trouble. You help British and American prisoners, Jews, Arabs, refugees, anybody. It's part of your faith, is that right?
Well, I wouldn't deny it. That's why I became a priest.
Brotherly love and forgiveness. That's the other half of what you believe, true?
True.
Well, I'm glad of it. Because I have 3 more for your mercy wagon. My wife and 2 children. If the partisans get them, they will be killed. I want them out of Rome and safe. That's what I want from you, priest.
You're asking me to save your family?
If you really believe what you preach, you'll do it.
Do you think that you can demand forgiveness? Do you think it comes automatically to you just because you want it?
I'm not talking about myself.
You've turned this city into a concentration camp. You've tortured and butchered my friends. You've violated every principle of God and man. I can't believe it. After all that, you want mercy.
I told you, for my family.
They're just a part of you, a part of what you stand for. They've taken what they could get without a thought for the suffering all around them. And now you ask that they be saved. Not over my dead body.
No, you're no different from anyone else. All your talk means nothing. Charity, mercy, forgiveness, it's all lies. You hear me? Lies! Don't you talk to me about God and humanity. I know what humanity is. It's the one half with the power and the will to use it, and the other, only cattle to be led. There's no God or humanity! You hear me, priest? Priest! May I have your attention? We've all come through this now. Thousands of lives have been spared, and it's all thanks to one man, Monsignor Hugh O'Flaherty!
Yeah! Now, don't be going on about me. If we're going to be toasting here, I can think of another one. To those we loved.
And lost, who cannot be here today.
Cheers!
This is only the first of your inquiries. As the head of the Gestapo in Rome, do you deny the systematic torture of suspects?
They are the accepted means of interrogation that we use.
A massacre of hundreds?
A reprisal ordered by Hitler. Only guilty Italians died.
That is not the information we have been given. You were clearly involved in death of innocent people.
I only did my duty.
Tell us about the pipeline. Come now, Colonel. It is quite obvious that after the forces retreated, you were ordered to set up a secret line of communication.
Colonel, you're aware of your wife and children. Louisa, is it? Franz and Liesel, the children?
What do you know? What has happened to them?
Now you're playing games, Colonel. Your wife and children were escaped from Rome and were smuggled into Switzerland, as you well know. How was it done? Who helped them?
Was it an organization? Now, if you tell us how it was done and who helped them, it might do some good at your trial.
I do not know.
Come on, Colonel, who was it?
I do not know.
After the liberation, Monsignor Hugh O'Flaherty was given the U.S. Medal of Honor and made a commander of the British Empire. His escape line saved over 6,500 Jews and prisoners of war. Colonel Herbert Kappler was sentenced to life imprisonment for war crimes. In the long years that followed in his Italian prison, Kappler had only one visitor. Year after year, Monsignor Hugh O'Flaherty came to see him. In 1959, this Herbert Kappler, former head of the dreaded Gestapo in Rome, was baptized in the Catholic faith at the hands of the Irish priest.